Hi, Lungi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Just in terms of your personal just journey over the last year or so, it's been it's a couple of injuries, couple of time away from the national side, just working on yourself. How do you feel having come back in India and put in a decent performance, and how are you feeling ahead of this England series?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. The only thing I think was the T20 squad. Obviously, we had a squad that did really well at the World Cup, so I think those guys were obviously going to get first bite at the cherry. But yeah, having gotten my chance, very happy with the performance I put in. Obviously, carrying a lot of confidence from there to here, and yeah, just looking to obviously keep that momentum going in this series.
Thanks to hear, Johan.
Hi, Lungi. Was it frustrating not playing in IPL and bowling and that you bowl in the nets all the time? How was it not playing?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit frustrating. You think you're going to get a chance every now and then after a loss, but obviously management had a plan in mind, but used that as a pretty much a good pre-season for the season that we got coming up. So yeah, I got a lot of good work done behind the scenes, but yeah, I mean, I think as any sportsman would tell you, it's frustrating not to be on the field. But to look at the bright side, was able to get a lot of work done, and I think that showed in the India series or the India T20 series when I got a chance.
Thanks, Johan. Abu Yile, and then, yeah, if anyone would like to follow, please indicate in the chat panel.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Great, thanks. Just want to touch on, obviously this ODI series is going to be without Tim Bafuma. How much of a big miss is he going to be in the changing room this series in terms of not just in terms of captaincy, but also getting the runs on the scoreboard when he's needed? What big how much of a miss is he going to be? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's very unfortunate that he got injured, and as an opening batter or one of our number threes in the top order, it is a big miss. He's had some good momentum in the ODI series, and he's been crucial in terms of getting runs on the board. So obviously a big miss, but I mean, I guess that opens up an opportunity for whoever's going to get a run in this series. And I think we've got a lot of confidence in the guys that we have. So I think we should be all right, but it would be lovely to have him in terms of leadership and the position that he holds in the team. But it opens up an opportunity for whoever's coming in, so good luck to them.
Thanks. Zahir, you can definitely go for your second.
Lungi, just what have you felt about in the warm-up game? The scores were quite high. It seemed the bowlers, both sides, were put under pressure. What are the wickets like? And how do you counter an England team that plays the way they play on such good batting wickets? Do you feel extra that the bowlers they're going to be put under pressure?
Yeah, we definitely were put under pressure, but I think after that first game, the guys were a bit rusty. Some of the guys hadn't played cricket in about 3 to 4 weeks, so we kind of expected it to go that way. And obviously, in the second warm-up game, having been out on the park, I think you could see from the performance that we put in that we were obviously playing towards a tempo that we know that we're going to have to play against these guys. They do put bowling lineups under pressure, and I think that's their go-to plan. But our batsmen have obviously shifted their mindset and are going to intend to do the same. So I reckon it should be some good cricket. The wickets are good batting wickets, but if we do get early wickets and we put their batting lineup under pressure, anything is possible, to be honest.
Thanks, Zahir. Johan?
The first matches, I think Aiden played a few seasons, one season there at Durham. Will you tap into his mind about the pitch?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Aiden Markram's played a season at Durham.
Oh, yeah?
Will you guys tap into his mind for the first match?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any information we can get about these conditions is useful. We've played here actually in the World Cup, so I think a few of those guys who were here are familiar with how it sort of plays. But yeah, any extra information we can use. You know, I've got some friends as well that play at Durham, so I think that should help a lot. But yeah, we definitely are going to tap into that information and make sure we're as well prepared as we can be for the first game.
Is there any news on Quinny?
I can jump in here. So yeah, he has continued to practice. He was rested, or rather sat out in those 2 first warm-up games, just owing to the fact that he was nursing a bruised finger. But yeah, he has returned to training, and yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then lastly, Lungi, yeah, just talk us through the team's preparations. Of course, you guys have been in Newcastle or in Durham now for a couple of days. So just the team's preparation and just the feeling in the camp ahead of this highly anticipated ODI series to kick off this England tour.
Yeah, the prep has been good. You know, we've obviously been here. We've seen the conditions now, the weather as well. A lot of cloud cover overhead, so the ball seems to be moving around a bit. Obviously that gives us a lot of confidence as the bowlers, you know, judging from what we saw in the warm-up games. Any assistance we can get is going to be useful. The batters have obviously also tuned their mindset into how the conditions are going to play. But all in all, our preparation's been good. Had a good competitive session today. And yeah, I think everyone's pretty much mentally ready for this first game. And we know what England is going to bring, so we're definitely going to have to raise our intensity to that level to make sure it's a good game.
Thanks, Lungi. We'll take one final question from Zahir to wrap up the press conference.
Lungi, just in regards to the way you go about your business these days, it's you go early on the cutters. You bowl slow balls up in your spars. Is that a conscious thing in terms of not just, you know, hitting back to the length, hard lengths, you know, and trying to nick guys off? Is that something that you've reverted to, where you go cutters early, or was that just an assessment of the conditions?
First of all, it is obviously trying to assess what the conditions are going to give you. You know, I think within those first 2 overs, you want to know what the wicket is pretty much giving you. So all the balls that you probably most likely going to bowl, you deliver those. But I think the main thing is batters are sort of used to bowlers just bowling one pace and all of a sudden getting into a momentum and freeing the arms up and hitting through the line. And I just think obviously a cutter or a slower ball up front, it does check that swing a bit and obviously stops that momentum, so it's not just free flowing. So yeah, it's more of a mental game with a batsman, especially if you can disguise it well and you hit a good length with it. It's not really a ball that you can get away. So it's one ball that I have practiced well and I use it a lot. So I don't see why not use it in the power play if I can.
Thanks. Abuyile, you can have the final one.
Just the last one, Lungi. You've mentioned that some of the guys haven't played some cricket in a while, 3 weeks or so. You also missed out on some IPL action. In terms of, obviously we know it's going to be a team effort going into the series, but looking at you personally, what would you like to take out of this series going forward? What would you like to achieve with the ball and possibly a few runs with the bat, if you can add to that in the series?
Yeah, you know, obviously a few of the guys hadn't played, but you know, some of us who had actually played the T20s in India, it wasn't too long ago. So, and the break actually felt very short, to be honest with you. We did train while we were back at home as well, so we weren't coming in sort of cold. But personally, obviously got a seniorship role with the ball and would love to lead the attack as any other senior bowler would. Obviously, hopefully lots and lots of wickets my way, and if there are a few runs as well, you know, I'll happily take those.